And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of Tornado Talk. We're here on Monday nights where we talk all things Brevard College athletics. Do want to let you know if you're watching on Facebook Live, this is a interactive program. So if you have any questions or comments for our guest tonight, be sure to leave them in that Facebook Live chat, and we'll be doing our best to get to all the questions and comments throughout the evening. Very excited for tonight's show as the newly elected SAAC Executive Board is with us this evening. If you're not familiar with SAAC, that's the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, a important role on campus, and we have the newly elected SAAC Executive Board with us tonight. 5 student athletes in the house from the Brevard College Tornadoes, and first, Brittany Franks, the president of the SAAC Executive Board, a softball student athlete, a senior, USA South All-Academic Selection. She's an outfielder from Belmont, North Carolina, South Point High School. She's also a peer leader and a tutor in the ELC, majors in biology with health science and chemistry minors. Brittany Franks, SAAC president, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having us.
We also have with us the vice president of SAAC, Allie Grace Hartman, also a student athlete from the softball team. She's from Lawndale, North Carolina, Burns High School, a junior, majoring in health science with a minor in biology. Allie Grace, thanks for joining the program.
Hi, thanks for having us.
In the bottom left corner from the football team, the Tornadoes football squad representing here, and newly elected secretary of SAAC, long snapper defensive back from Cumming, Georgia, West Forsyth High School. He's a senior, USA South All-Academic Selection, also senior resident advisor for Jones Hall here on campus, majoring in criminal justice, Brandon Whitfield. Brandon, thanks for joining the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
In the bottom right corner is the newly elected Community Engagement Director. She's a midfielder from Asheville, North Carolina, A.C. Reynolds High School. She's a junior who most recently was a USA South All-Academic Selection as well over the summer, an orientation leader, a campus activity board member, and a TA. She majors in health science with a minor in biology and chemistry. Chloe Profit. Chloe, thanks for joining the show.
Thanks for having me.
And bottom row in the middle, a veteran of Tornado Talk. She was on the show just a few weeks ago when we were really gearing up for the start of the new semester here at Brevard College. From the women's lacrosse team, she's a midfielder from Southport, North Carolina, South Brunswick High School, a junior who also was a USA South All-Academic Selection, an RA, a TA, a peer leader, a tutor in the ELC. She's majoring in health science and biology with a chemistry minor. Hannah Scarf. Hannah, thanks for joining the show.
Glad to be here. Thanks for having us.
All right. Well, now that we've got the introductions complete, do want to hear from each of you as far as, if you can kind of go into a little bit what SAAC is, why it's important, and kind of, your excitement for representing your fellow student athletes this season. We'll start with newly elected president Brittany Franks. Brittany, kick us off. Tell us about SAAC.
Yeah, well, first off, I can say it's a wonderful group of students to be a part of. I was the president last year as well, so to be reelected, it was definitely an honor. So I can't thank my fellow club members enough for that election. But as far as SAAC goes, it's really important that we are the face of Brevard College athletics. We go out in our community a lot and do a lot of different service projects, as well as help out with some things on campus. So it's really important that we present ourselves well. And with this group of students, we definitely do that.
Very good. And Allie Grace Hartman, newly elected vice president of SAAC. Can you kind of give us your perspective on SAAC?
Yeah, of course. I think it's really good for us to have a voice and kind of bridge the gap between the rest of our teammates to the whole athletic department. I think that's a huge part of it, and I'm super excited and glad to be a part of it, to speak about those things that happen that my teammates wouldn't be as comfortable to talk about, but I feel like we're more in the athletic department, and we kind of have more of a voice to bridge that gap.
Very good. And Chloe Prophet, Community Engagement Director. I know that's a big part of SAAC as far as the community service piece. Can you tell us a little more?
Yeah, so it's my first year at SAAC, so I'm super excited to be a part of it. But like my role is like I'm really focusing on like getting community hours and engagement with Brevard College and the community, really missioning it together. And I'm super excited to be like the face of our teams in our school and try to get volunteer hours for all of us to work well with the community.
Hannah Scarf, Marketing and Event Director for SAAC. Can you tell us a little bit about your role?
I'm here to, really spread the word about the events that SAAC has planned and make sure we have a nice turnout of students, the athletes, just make sure everybody knows what's happening and make sure we get as many people there as we can.
And Brandon Whitfield from the football team. Every organization needs somebody to keep everything organized, and that I would imagine that's your role as secretary. Can you tell us more?
Yes, sir. So I'm there to make sure everybody's at the meetings. Everybody gets signed in. Keep track of what we talk about in the meetings. That way, everybody can see and go back and look if they need to. And then also, if SAAC does anything with finances or anything, I'm also in charge of that as well.
So secretary/treasurer, it sounds like, Brandon. So congratulations on that new role. Now, speaking of meetings, I understand there was a meeting last night on Sunday at the campus of Brevard College. Can you all tell us, we'll start with you, Brittany, what was accomplished at that meeting?
Yeah, so in our meeting last night, we kind of did an icebreaker thing where we kind of met some of the new SAAC members. It was like an ultimate rock, paper, scissors thing that we kick off each year with, which turned out to be really fun, even with the social distancing and masks and things like that. So we got accompanied with one another, and we started talking about our blood drive that's coming up tomorrow, as well as getting sign-ups for SAAC members to work the table as well.
And I'm glad you mentioned the blood drive. Tomorrow, they've expanded the hours. The demand was so high for this event. A partnership with the Blood Connection on the campus of Brevard College, a blood drive where donors are going to be giving blood, all the blood that will be donated. There's also going to be a testing for COVID-19 antibody test. Also, those who donate receive a $20 Visa gift card. Just an important program to help those in need, especially, in hospitals and whatnot during this COVID-19 time. Blood is more important than ever. I'd love to hear from each of you as far as your excitement for tomorrow's big event and, just how important this is for Brevard College to give back through this blood drive.
I think it's a good thing the school has going. I think this is probably one of the biggest turnouts that we've had at a blood drive. I certainly can't remember another one that's run this long. But, if anybody does have the antibodies, I think it's going to be a good thing to kind of, share them and get them out there so they can use them as a cure. It's a good thing that the school is doing, and I'm really happy to see that there's so many people willing and wanting to be involved.
Yeah, and if anyone didn't get signed up for the blood drive tomorrow, there is going to be another one later in the semester. So hopefully this is going to be a yearly thing, a semesterly thing that we can get everyone through since the demand was really high this time around.
Yeah, I think we were shooting for like 25 and we ended up getting 80 plus participants this year. So
Fantastic. And it's my understanding there might be a slot or two still open. If you go to bctornadoes.com, the lead story is about the blood drive with Blood Connection. Just click on there. You'll see the link, and they might be able to squeeze you in there. But like Brittany said, there'll be another one before too long here. And, just really important stuff. And glad you guys are helping promote this and helping organize it and making it a reality tomorrow. Fantastic work there. We've been touching on a little bit about as far as the whole scenario on campus with COVID-19. And, everyone's been doing a great job with the 3 Ws, wearing a cloth mask over your nose and mouth, waiting 6 feet apart, washing your hands often with soap and water, the 3 Ws. From you all's perspective, as student athletes, as student leaders, this is just critical that this message gets out here. And I know you guys are doing some things to get the word out there. Again, Brittany, we'll start with you as far as the 3 Ws and that sort of messaging that you guys are helping carry across all the teams on campus.
Right, yeah, so we can't stress it enough. I know all the students get multiple emails a day, even a week, just telling us, good job, keep it up. These things are working so far on campus. We don't want to be like other colleges or universities that got sent home too soon kind of thing, but definitely in their best interest, I believe. But I believe that Brevard College, we have the students that can see the common goal, and especially like for us athletes, we want to have a season. And with majority of our school being athletes, I think that everyone sees that end goal and they're going to do their part to make that happen.
I also think
Chloe,
campus life.
Oh, go ahead, Allie. Go ahead.
No, I'm so sorry. I was just going to say I think campus life is doing a lot of virtual stuff and trying to keep people engaged so we're not like all by ourselves and totally out of the loop. So I think that's good too.
And Chloe, I see you nodding your head. Your thoughts as far as the importance of the 3 Ws?
Yeah, I think we've been doing really good as a campus with like having all the 3 Ws met. I know like what Ali said about campus events, like I work with the CAB and setting up those events. And so we've been really working on either being virtual or painting circles on the ground to make sure everybody's 6 feet apart. So I think we're really working hard to make sure we get all those goals.
And Hannah, I know you've been here since, we were preparing for the students, the new students, especially to arrive, and have been working hard on this messaging as well. Your thoughts as far as, sort of the team effort involved in making this a reality?
I think that, our school, we kind of have an advantage on most schools, seeing as we have Pisgah and we have DuPont. So you don't feel like you need to go be around a ton of people to go do something. You can go out into the woods, you can go hiking, you can go swimming. And like Brittany said, a vast majority of our students are athletes and we all want to play our season. So I think that is a big factor, like she said. And also, these freshmen, unfortunately, they missed out on most of their senior year. And I think that kind of lingers in the back of their mind. Do I want to miss out on my freshman years as well? So I believe that that's a big driving factor behind them completing their 3 Ws and doing their best to be mindful of the regulations we have set at the school to keep us all safe and keep us in school as long as we can.
And Brandon, a senior resident advisor for Jones Hall, I'd imagine a lot of your duties and activities have, really stressed these 3 Ws as well.
Oh yeah. We've been having hall meetings individually with each hall, each floor, since we can't do it as a whole hall due to the social distancing. We've been doing it individually, and we've been stressing it. Just wear your mask, wait 6 feet, and just continually wash your hands. I had a meeting with the second floor of East Jones, and all of them are all freshman football players. And, I told them, I said, look, guys, y'all got a brand new stadium here. Y'all are going to be the first football team to play in this new stadium. You got to keep wearing your mask. You got to keep washing your hands, waiting 6 feet. And, don't let that ruin the opportunity for this season to come.
Well said. And I just want to thank all of you guys for your leadership. This is a tricky situation to navigate, and the entire campus is doing a great job. And you all as athletes, student athletes, leaders are doing a great job. And our first comment from Athletic Director Miranda Nash. Congrats, y'all. Can't wait to see the wonderful things you'll accomplish on campus this year. And then the triple tornado emoji. Great to hear from Miranda. We talked about the blood drive tomorrow. Can you guys maybe preview, without giving away, anything you want to leave as a surprise, but anything you might be thinking about in terms of other plans for SAAC initiatives later this year?
I know in our meeting last night, we talked about how our community engagement may be a little tricky this year, with COVID and everything going on. So we were talking with Chloe and Molly, our SAAC kind of advisor, that we're going to try to find a lot of things to do on campus, whether it be help painting some of the parking lot lines or some of the logos around campus, anything like that. So if you see some SAAC members around campus cleaning up or painting some things, that's what's going on.
Very good. And do want to give a shout out to those two co-SAAC advisors, Molly Penland, Director of Business Operations for Brevard College Athletics, also head cheerleading coach, and Stephanie Johnson, Assistant AD, SWA. Stephanie and Molly, the two co-SAAC advisors. Well, do want to get into sports a little bit with you guys. It is Tornado Talk after all, and we love talking some sports. And we'll start with you, Brandon. A historic season on the football field for the Brevard College Tornadoes, best season in school history, a bowl win the first time in school history, just accolades left and right. Can you kind of sum it up as far as just the satisfaction of last season and how meaningful that was to really propel the Brevard College football program into the future?
Oh yeah. Last season, we kind of at the start of the season we said, we want to break records for the college. We want to set goals and stuff, and we set them pretty high, and we went after it. We practiced hard every practice. God, I can't even put it into words, but we worked hard for it. We really did. And getting invited to that bowl game, I remember we were sitting in the Porter Center, and Coach he got us down there, and he was talking to us saying, guys, unfortunately, we didn't get the invitation, kind of messing with us. And then out of the blue, he just, oh, by the way, I was just kidding, we're going to the bowl game. And, the whole room went crazy. And getting to go to Pittsburgh and just experience that and experience the feel and being on the field and getting the win, it was unbelievable.
Defensive back and also a long snapper. I don't get the chance to talk to too many long snappers in depth about their trade. What makes a good long snapper?
Oh, Lord. Just got to be consistent, really. Once you get the technique down for it, you just got to be consistent, put it in the right spots, make sure your speed's right, because the whole operation for a punt has got to be less than 2.0 seconds. So you just got to be consistent constantly, and it takes practice. But it's not a hard trade to master, and I have not mastered it yet by no means. But I work hard, and it's just something you just got to be consistent at.
And you've been doing it for a long time, correct, Brandon?
Yes, sir. I've actually been doing it since middle school. Actually, started kind of getting into it into middle school in about 8th grade, and started doing it through high school and just carried on into college.
Very good. Well, my guess would be you're getting pretty close to mastering it that long. Hannah Scarfa, member of the Brevard College women's lacrosse team. Now, we've got softball student athletes and women's lacrosse student athletes here, two spring sports whose season was interrupted last spring. Do want to kind of talk about that a little bit, but there was one big highlight last spring. If we can recall the home opener at Ives Lamel Family Field, it was a cold, damp night versus Johnson & Wales Denver campus, and the Tornadoes just exploded for a 19-8 win. Hannah, can you reflect back a little bit on that 19-8 victory over JWU?
That feels like a very long time ago. I know it was a great morale builder for the team. We were so fresh, so new, and we had a lot of potential on the team, and we have a lot of hard workers. And I know we all kind of came out of the gate ready to win, ready to play, and it made us feel really, really good to get that win under our belt and get rolling and have such a good win. We played hard, and it was fun, and it kind of lifted everybody's spirits, kind of got us ready to get going for the season. And it makes me look forward to this coming season because, like I said, the team is just full of a lot of potential, and I really think we're going to do well and go places.
Hannah, by the way, contributed with 4 goals in that blowout win over JWU. And then Hannah, unfortunately, of course, across all of college athletics, that the season came to a halt. However, you all really were able to send off the senior class for women's lacrosse in just a beautiful fashion. For those who may have missed that story, can you kind of tell us what happened with that senior day that you all put together?
Well, it was all pretty impromptu, and all of the teammates, obviously, that weren't the seniors, we worked really, really hard a couple nights before to get packages set up for the seniors and really decorate the locker room. And we went all out. We had a piñata and streamers. And, we have a tradition that we do for the seniors each year where we throw their cleats up over the roof of the locker room. And, I think it kind of made them feel special because I know that was something they were worried about missing out on. And then for practice, we had a little 7v7, senior night game, and everybody got to walk, and they all got their shirts, and they were announced. And our teammate Allie, she actually did the announcing, and she's a giant goofball. So it was a lot of laughter. It was a lot of fun. It was bittersweet, but I'm really glad we did that because our senior class was amazing. They brought a lot of skill and leadership, and it was hard to see them go, but I'm glad we got to do that for them.
Chloe Prophet, a member of the women's soccer team, and I do want to reflect back on last year as well. And I'm going to choose a game similar to what we talked about with women's lacrosse, also against Johnson & Wales. However, this was Johnson & Wales in Charlotte, North Carolina. And, after, sort of like a heartbreaking start of the season where you just couldn't get over the top and these close losses and even a tie score, the Tornadoes come up with a 1-0 double overtime golden goal win in Charlotte. Chloe, can you kind of recall that match and just how, joyous the celebration was when you got that golden goal as a team?
Yeah, I just remember before the game coming together as a team, we're all like, okay, guys, it's been enough. We need to really come together, and we did. We pushed through 90 plus minutes of a game, hit a golden goal. Afterwards was great. It was a lot of fun. So.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I remember hearing the stories afterwards when you all got back to campus, and you guys were still glowing after the win the night before. So can't wait to see some more action from you all. Now, soccer, of course, a fall sport, and although the USA South Conference has postponed fall sports to the spring, I know you all as a team are working hard to stay in shape and stay together this fall. Can you kind of let folks know a little bit what you guys are up to in terms of training this fall?
Yeah, so we've been scrimmaging every day from 5 to 6. Next Tuesday we get to finally officially start practices with coaches and everything. But we've all been working really hard before to be prepared for anything that happens. But in this coming fall season that we have, every other weekend we've gotten together for a blue and white scrimmage. So we'll have refs, the team, everybody will be dressed, and we'll get to scrimmage to be prepared for our new spring season coming up. So yeah,
very good.
We put in a lot of work.
No doubt, and it will pay off. I'm confident in that. Allie Grace Hartman, a pitcher on the Brevard College softball team, and reflecting back to last spring, you all were on fire to close out the abbreviated season. 7 straight wins to close it out. A trip to Myrtle Beach where you all were just knocking off opponents left and right, sometimes twice in one day. Can you kind of reflect back on that Myrtle Beach trip and, things were clicking for the Tornadoes. What was the key to that kind of success?
I think everyone, once Coach Rourke got here, we were like, this is a fresh start. There's not going to be any drama. Nobody has problems. Like, we're all here for the same goal. We want to play ball and we want to win. So as soon as everyone had that same mindset, we started getting along. We started winning ball games. And once we got to Myrtle Beach and everyone was clicking and getting along, it makes us play better. And we played so great that week. And Monday when we got there, we had no idea what was going to happen the next weekend. But it was a very emotional end of that week, to say the least. But it was one of my best softball memories for sure.
And Brittany, if you can reflect back on that a little further, I know that last day in particular was particularly emotional and so forth. The word was starting to, come that, the season was going to be canceled. I know some of those other teams in Myrtle Beach had already had their season canceled. And then, the Tornadoes, with the idea that this could be the last game of the year, a 12-3 win over Wells to close it out. Can you reflect back on that day and kind of give folks a little bit of insight on, what that was like being a part of the softball team on Thursday, March the 12th, 2020?
Yeah, so, I can remember being in our hotel room, just hanging out with each other. And one of us just happened to, step out onto the balcony. And we looked out into, the main pool area. And we saw some other teams kind of having their senior days out by the pool. And we were like, oh, my gosh, we hate it for them. We were all standing on the balconies. I'm pretty sure half of our team was tearing up at it, too. And, we didn't really understand that, this was going to take place in the South as well, because there were a lot of northern teams that were hearing that, their seasons are being canceled and things like that. So it didn't really hit us yet. But until that Friday, which was actually my birthday, so it was kind of bittersweet. But we found out that our season was canceled, and it was very emotional. I think a lot of us were upset. We had a senior, and we were upset for her as well. But luckily, she's able to come back, and she'll be with us again this season. So everything kind of worked out. So we were happy that what we started in Myrtle Beach, that we can continue this year as well.
Well, I'm glad we're able to, revisit it one more time, because that 7-game win streak was exceptional. You guys just dominated at Myrtle Beach. Okay, a question here from Stephanie Johnson. What are you most excited about this school year? So what are you most excited about this school year? Brandon, we'll start with you.
I'm really excited just to get these classes going, to get the football going. I know we're not starting to the spring, but we're having us a nice little a fall camp kind of deal, a 4-week camp. I'm really excited for that, and I'm just looking forward to all of it.
Hannah, would you like to answer the same question? What are you most excited about?
Definitely the classes, but for sure the season. I'm ready to play. I think we all are.
Chloe?
I'm super excited for our season, but I'm really excited to have classes in person.
Allie Grace?
I'm also very excited to have classes in person, but I'm also really excited about our new locker rooms. I'm excited for those to finish and to check those out when they get done. I'm really excited.
And Brittany?
Yeah, as a senior this year, I'm just kind of excited to see where it goes. It's definitely going to be different, but I'm really excited to see how my last year at Brevard will play out for me.
Well, both Allie Grace and Brandon have sort of teased this next subject that we're going to go into. And Brandon, we'll start with you. Anyone who's taken a walk or a drive through Brevard College, either this summer or in recent times, can't help but notice some major construction projects on the backside of campus. The newly expanded Ives Lamel Family Field, as well as the field house. And what that means, we'll get into the field house with some of these other student athletes even further. But for your team, Brandon, the football team, the Tornadoes will be on campus. The first time in almost forever, we're doing the research to try to figure out the last home game. It was way before there was such a thing as Ives Lamel Family Field, I'll tell you that much. football coming back on campus, new digs in the new field house. Brandon, can you kind of let us know, just how excited you and your teammates might be about all this?
Oh yeah. God, it's undescribable, really. Getting to go over and play at the high school, that was nice. It was a place to play, but getting to have a place like right in our own backyard, right at our home, that's just it's gonna be crazy. Just it's gonna be awesome. And I remember when the coaches were telling us that, this is in the works, so don't get too excited about it right now, but it's in the works. So we'll just see when it happens. And I got to stay here over the summer because I was getting stuff ready for my job, and I just got to watch them put it together, and it was just awesome getting to sit here and watch them just day by day just put more on, and it was a unique experience. But oh yeah, myself and the team, we're ready to hit the field.
No doubt. And women's lacrosse, Hannah, will also benefit from these new improvements. One, you'll be playing your games in front of a grandstand full of fans at Ives Lamel Family Field, but also you have the benefit of new locker room space in the new field house. I would imagine the Tornadoes women's lacrosse team very excited.
Yes, sir, we are. We take up a good bit of room. We got a lot of gear. We got a lot of stuff we bring with us, and we definitely all have a tendency to spread out pretty good. So I think we're all pretty excited about the new locker room we're going to have, and, just to see what it all looks like once it's finally finished being built. And I know everybody's definitely excited to get to play in a stadium with all these bleachers and see the crowd sitting and watching, and not just a smattering around the fences.
And the same applies to your team, Chloe, the women's soccer team. Get to play in front of the big crowds at Ives Lamel Family Field now. It's especially exciting under those lights. And then also new locker room space in the new field house. Team's pretty excited about these new locker rooms.
Yeah, I'm super excited for the locker room. We have a bigger team now, so we need more space. But not just for soccer. I know personally for soccer, we never really got to watch any football games. But now that football's on campus, I'm excited to see all the other teams get to play too.
No doubt. And softball will have a new locker room space as well in the field house, and also kind of a end result of all this maneuvering of all the teams and so forth. Softball is returning to its own field. Allie Grace and Brittany, I'd love to hear from each of you as far as the new digs for the Tornado softball team. Allie Grace, you want to get started?
Yeah, I'm super excited. We have our own place. Not that I did it while I'm sharing with all of you guys, but it's nice. We don't have to split practice times anymore. We get to play on dirt, which is what we all grew up on playing, so that's really nice. It just feels more homey to us because that's what we've always done. That's how we've always played. We have our own dugouts that aren't on wheels anymore, so that's nice. Yeah, I'm super excited to be playing on dirt again. It's going to be really nice.
And Brittany, senior year, and you got these, new locations to enjoy.
Absolutely. Yeah, like Allie said, we grew up playing on dirt, and I don't think I've met a softball player yet who doesn't like to play dirty. So I think that's going to be really exciting to be back out there and play authentic softball on the dirt. And I think with the locker rooms coming in and the improvements they're making on campus, I think as athletes, it feels really good to play for a school that also invests in your teams and in your athletes and things like that. So I don't think we could be any more appreciative for everything that athletics is putting up for us.
Exciting times to be a Tornado, no doubt about it. For this next subject, I'd like each of you to go in whatever direction you like, but I'd like to explore the team culture for each of your squads and, sort of what makes you guys tick as a team. What are the things your coaching staff emphasizes, and what do you think makes being a Tornado on your respective team so special? Brandon, when I mention team culture and the Tornadoes football team, what comes to mind?
Family, first thing, family. Our team is just one big family. whether we're on the field, off the field. I know last year the team did go back when we didn't have all the social distancing and COVID. They did do a lot of stuff together. We did a lot of stuff together. We just bonded a lot. So family would definitely be the first thing that comes to mind.
Hannah, team culture and the lacrosse team?
Like Brandon said, I have to go with family. You know, we spend a lot of time together, especially now with the cohort living. But I think it's a good thing for us. You know, we all joke around together. We have a good time together. We're always laughing and having fun, even at practices and games. And, you know, I can't really think of a time, even before COVID, that everybody was really separated. So our team's just a lot of fun. You know, family. It's just a family.
Chloe, tell us about the women's soccer team's culture.
Yeah, I think it's just a big family, especially with the cohort living. But with our season being moved to the spring, we've really been trying to like focus on team bonding now and getting to know the freshmen and all of that. Since like years past, we didn't really get that opportunity because we jumped right into the season. So we've been really close. I think we've always been tight, but I'm excited to get closer with my team this year.
Same question for you, Allie Grace.
Same thing that Hannah and Chloe said. I think with 14 of us living together in the same building, that's made us a lot closer, but we've always gotten along really well. And like they said, also team bonding, like Coach loves team bonding and we do a lot of it. And I think we all get along super great now. We all have the same sense of humor and we're all crazy, and it's really nice for all 20 of us to be together. It's really fun.
Brittany?
Yeah, going back to what Allie said, there's definitely a lot of different personalities on our team, but to see them all come together and all share the same goal and learn to trust each other and learn each other's personalities, as well as what we need when we're down and what we need to continue to happen when we're having a great game, just kind of learning each other has been really cool to see. So I think all the teams here can be considered family.
Well, we've talked about your athletic success. We've talked about the team culture and what makes you all tick. Do want to get into the classroom a little bit with each of you as well. Brittany, we'll start with you, a biology major with health science and chemistry minor. Can you tell us what it's like to be a biology major at Brevard College, and then also what your aspirations may be once you graduate?
Yeah, so in the biology department at Brevard, definitely stepping in as a freshman, it was a little overwhelming. Being in these college biology classes, they seem pretty strict and pretty tough. But the professors couldn't be any more helpful. They give you a lot of perspectives on different ways to study, different ways to get through the material. And so it's not as harsh as it looks for anyone considering biology here at Brevard College. But as my aspirations, I'm currently applying to dental school. So hopefully I'll hear back from them in the spring and I'll be enrolled in dental school in the fall.
Outstanding. Best of luck in that process, Brittany, as you look towards dental school. Allie Grace Hartman, a health science major and a minor in biology. Can you tell us more about the health science major and also what you may have your sights on?
Yeah, of course. Like Brittany said, we have some great professors, and honestly, I would be struggling a lot more than I am if we didn't have as great professors. But also, like you said, coming in as a freshman, I was very intimidated, and now I'm taking 300 level courses, and I'm still a little bit intimidated, but it's a lot easier, and we have really great professors. And for my aspirations, I'm actually a CNA right now at Accordius Health in Brevard, and I'm getting some hours, and I think I'm going to take a gap year after I graduate to get some more hours and then apply to PA school in 2023. So that's my goal.
Outstanding. Best of luck in that as well. Chloe, also a health science major, minors in biology and chemistry. Tell us more.
I would have to agree with Allie. Like, it was kind of intimidating coming in and being in like 300 level courses now. I have like several classes with Allie and Grace, and like Allie and Hannah. And so, I mean, we can just come together as like a team to like get our work done. And we have a lot of great professors here to like help us push to like our goals. Even though we are a small school, like we still stand out. But like as of after Brevard, I want to apply to med school to hopefully pursue a career and be a surgeon, like orthopedic or general.
A big sciences theme to tonight's show because Hannah's major is also health science, as well as biology with a chemistry minor. Hannah, can you tell us about your scholastic work and aspirations?
Well, like everybody said, it looks really daunting on paper. And it still is a little bit once you get into classes, but like Chloe said, I've got a lot of classes with her and Allie, and we're getting into the upper level classes this year, the 300s, and it's really just a lot of time management and going to your professors and asking for help before you really need it so you don't fall behind. And everybody's really willing to help you, your classmates, your peers, the professors, the tutors in the ELC. It's a really great program, and I plan on going to veterinarian school once I graduate from Brevard College.
Outstanding. And Brandon, senior year now, a criminal justice major. Tell us about the criminal justice major and what you may have planned for the future.
Yeah, coming in, criminal justice, that's all I've wanted to do since I was 2, really. My dad's retired law enforcement, 33 years, retired out as a lieutenant on patrol. So this is just something I've always wanted to do ever since I was a little kid. The classes are so much fun. Dr. Powers, just, I've never heard a bad thing about him from anybody. Everybody loves him. But the classes now, they're getting more fun, getting more down and dirty into the criminal justice world. And as for after college, right now I'm actually a deputy with the Transylvania County Sheriff's Office. I just started that not too long ago. Just completed my first phase of field training, and I start my second on Friday night. So working night shift, but just kind of want to get started somewhere, and then we'll just take it from there. But I kind of have aspirations to go to the federal level, federal law enforcement at some point. So we'll just see what happens.
Outstanding, Brandon. And I do want to just dig into this academic side just a little bit more. And what I'd like each of you to do is, as you think back on the classes you've taken here at Brevard College, pick one. If there's a freshman who may be heading into your major themselves and wants something to look forward to, what's the one class and that professor that you've perhaps enjoyed the most? Brandon, you want to get us started?
Sure. So probably my favorite class so far was the Intro to Crime Scene Investigations. So when you get down into that class, you get to really see how the forensic side of the job comes in. Dr. Powers was the professor for this class when I took it, and he went and bought some chickens, and he put them out in some cages, like some store-bought chickens. He and put them out in some cages out behind the practice fields, and as they decayed, we had to go out there in the lovely smell and examine them as if it was a crime scene. And then we also have crime scenes set up in the attic of MG, and we got to go up there and work an actual crime scene. One that Powers has worked before, Dr. Powers has worked before. So, and then lift fingerprints, collect evidence, do the whole thing, and just get to really, really learn how to do the job. So it's a lot of fun, though. It's a lot of fun.
Outstanding. Hannah, favorite class or one that, folks should take note of?
Medical terminology, definitely, if you're going to be doing a science-based major, because as I get into like anatomy and physiology this year, a lot of that terminology comes back for you, and you really need to memorize it and focus on it hard. I think Chloe can agree with that. We have that class together. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and I think my favorite class so far has probably been Plants and Animals of the Southern Apps, just because it was a nice, kind of a break from all the sciences, and it was something fun. You go outside a lot, you look at different trees, you study different animals and skulls and all kinds of stuff. It was a lot of fun to take.
Very good. Chloe?
I agree with Hannah with all the science classes. We're in anatomy together, which I think is going to be a really fun class as we get into it. But I think so far my favorite class is probably both introductions to chemistry with Dr. Biava. Like, I just really like the math coming in with science, and just it's cool to learn like all the little things that you don't really notice when you're talking about big objects.
Allie Grace?
My favorite would have to be one I actually just started this semester. It's comparative styles of medicine with Dr. Haynes, who's actually an acupuncturist downtown. And it's just an elective, so it's not required, but it does look good for your biology elective. It's super interesting. You learn about all different kinds of medicine. I think it's really good for somebody who doesn't know what path or anything they want to go on, because we're learning about aromatherapy and chiropractic and herbalism and every variety of any type of medicine. So it's super interesting and really fun.
Brittany?
Yeah, I can definitely say as a young biology major freshman year, coming in and taking Bio 120, you will definitely earn every single point in that class. But once you get past that, things are really looking up from there. My favorite class would have to be microbiology with Dr. Mavidi. I think my class size was like 6 people. So it was very personal. And that's when everything kind of started coming full circle for me. Each student in our class had different aspirations of what they wanted to do after school. But we each seemed to find a different type of bacteria that either played a role in like the film that's on our teeth when you wake up in the morning, or the different types of bacteria that one might find, in veterinary school or something like that. So that's when everything started to come full circle.
Very good. I appreciate all those answers and kind of a little bit more of a deep dive into the classroom and what you guys are up to. Well, we're almost out of time here at Tornado Talk, but want to give you each an opportunity to, maybe say thank you or give a shout out to anybody who may be tuning in, but also, give a message to your fellow teammates, your fellow student athletes, NATO Nation in general, whatever direction you want to go in. Brandon Whitfield, football long snapper and defensive back, a USA South All-Academic selection. You are the newly elected secretary for SAAC. Brandon, the floor is yours.
Well, I just want to say thank you to my family. I love y'all just for always being there for me. The coaches for everything that they've done for us, and for the team and for everybody else in NATO Nation. Just keep working hard. Just keep protecting yourself and protecting us, and we'll get through it.
Hannah Scarf, she's now the marketing and event director for SAAC, a midfielder on the women's lacrosse team, also a USA South All-Academic selection. Hannah, final thoughts?
I want to give a shout out to the Collins family. I see they're in here. I think my parents are here, Uncle Whitney, Aunt Kathy, and Mr. Rock. Hi, I miss you guys. And then, just let the students know, keep wearing your mask, keep doing what you're supposed to be doing. I'm sure everybody wants to stay and, play our sport. So do your part, and hopefully we'll get to be able to.
Very good. Chloe?
I just wanted to say a shout out to all the BC students, like Hannah said. We need to keep wearing our masks. We came in it together. We're going to finish it together. It's going to be a great semester.
Very
good. Allie Grace, final thoughts.
I definitely want to give a shout out to my parents, because they're the reason I'm here. So I really love and appreciate them. I also want to give a shout out to my teammates, because they're doing great with the whole social distancing, wearing a mask thing. I want everybody to keep it up so I can see them all out on our new dirt field in the spring.
And Brittany Franks, newly re-elected president of SAAC. Final words from the SAAC president.
Yeah, big thanks to my family. Definitely, if it wasn't for my dad, I wouldn't be this well at public speaking on the fly like this. So big thanks to him. It's definitely helped out throughout the years on Tornado Talk. But just an important part of SAAC is for any of the student athletes, find your representative on your team. If you have any questions about anything going on within your sports or within the school, let us know, and we can take that to people higher up, try to get some answers and things like that. But the Brevard College faculty is amazing, either if they're in athletics or if they're professors or faculty and staff that make everything on campus possible. You guys are great. Keep up the great work, and we'll help you out as much as we can.
Very good. The 2020 and 2021 Executive Board for the Brevard College Student Athlete Advisory Committee, President Brittany Franks, Vice President Allie Grace Hartman, Secretary Brandon Whitfield, Marketing and Event Director Hannah Scarf, and Community Engagement Director Chloe Profit. Thank you for joining Tornado Talk tonight. It's been a real pleasure, and want to wish you all best of luck as we head into this fall semester. Want to remind everybody, make sure you practice your 3 W's: wear a cloth mask over your nose and mouth, wait 6 feet apart, and wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Thank you again for joining this edition of Tornado Talk. You can catch us every Monday night on Facebook Live at 7 p.m. The show is also available via replay on YouTube and on SoundCloud as a podcast. And be sure to follow the Tornadoes on social media. Follow the Tornadoes on Facebook at Brevard College Tornado Athletics, also on YouTube. Make sure you hit that little bell on YouTube to get all the notifications when a new video drops. Also on Twitter and Instagram at BC Tornadoes. Brittany Franks, Allie Grace Hartman, Chloe Profit, Hannah Scarf, and Brandon Whitfield. Thanks again for joining the show. Go Tornadoes!